love pissing you off, gets me off, like my lawyers when the fucking judge lets me off.
It is obvious. I am the chosen one.
So the ribcage is getting nerfed, but there's a problem. Roll it. Welcome back, friends, foes, and... As we said in our previous video and from various content creators besides myself, the ribcage is getting nerfed from a total of 25% bonus stats to 15%. That's a 10% decrease in stats, which I personally don't care about that much from the loss of stats perspective, since it basically means you lose 5% crit severity and 5% crit strike, which might be annoying to deal with, but with a little bit of shuffling of companions, maybe gear, enchantments, and consumables, you can probably balance it out to where it was before the nerf. Though the stat reduction in itself isn't a huge problem, since the old ribcage and the new version of it will both have the same bonus, which is Ruthless Might, and will both still be the best option for armor pieces for almost all classes. The problem with this nerf isn't just the reduction to the actual stats, but what the nerf does to the awareness and zone activity. Here's a very simple example. If both these armor pieces, the old ribcage and the new one, have the same bonus, and the only main difference between them is their color, their item level, and the combined rating, which one would you prefer? Obviously the one with a higher item level and combined rating, since more item level and combined rating equals more damage. Even if it's just a small increase, it's still an increase. But there is another reason you'd most likely choose the new ribcage over the old. And that reason is that I highly doubt that the new ribcage will be as daunting, as difficult, or as expensive to obtain as the old one is. So in all likelihood, the new ribcage will be much easier to get in comparison. So what problem does that create? It creates what I like to call the dead zone problem. The reason many people still spend time in Avernus, besides Valenhas and Juma bags, is to farm all the hunts to get a chance at some Nightspine lures, so they can then have a chance to get the ribcage, which is and still will be bonus-wise in the top 2 armor pieces in the game, unless something drastic happens. So what incentive will players have to spend time in Avernus, besides the campaign and Juma bags, when Avernus has much less to offer gear-wise? The players who earned AD off the lures will slowly but surely vanish, since that's exactly what's going to happen to their income. And nobody's going to want to buy what you have to sell. Personally, I never made any money off of Avernus, so it doesn't affect me in any way. I'm personally in-game rich, but some players do care. Nightspine will simply become obsolete, and so will any hunts before Nightspine, since what's the point? Besides Whitehorn for Garisto's Horns, what will be good to farm? And even Garisto's Horns has a better version of it in the new module. So you see the nerf of the ribcage has more layers to it than just the nerf to Ruthless Might or the stats. It also creates a loss of incentive and lack of activity in a zone. The only reason players might farm the lure of Nightspine in the future will be to experience it, just for the hell of doing it. But like I said, only if the new ribcage is easier to obtain, which it probably will be since Nightspine lures took forever to create and cost anywhere from 5 to 6 million, and sometimes even up to 10 million, which in my book is extremely expensive. Like, who in their right mind would give a fuck about Nightspine and the ribcage if there is a better and easier version of it somewhere else? Nightspine and Avernus itself is already pretty outdated in almost everything with a few exceptions. Now Avernus is becoming even less attractive. So that is the problem with these nerfs, that they remove incentives to run older content due to the item's decreased value or due to something else being better. And I'm not sure this will ever stop. We will just keep bouncing from one place to another while killing previous content for the sake of the new. But Avernus is lucky compared to other zones. At least it has Juma to keep it alive. So yeah, the nerf might suck a little bit stats-wise, but it's not unsurmountable. Of course, some people would be mad. They spent the hard-earned money to get a really expensive ribcage, only to have a new one or have the current one nerfed. Anyways, make sure to let me know your opinions in the comments and what you think of the nerf and its effect on not only gear, but the actual zone itself. Some of you might care about zone activity, some might not. And some might be happy just to get a new and easier possibly to get ribcage, and some might not. And you can't hate anyone for either that. I just wanted to point out the other side effects to the nerf besides the stats itself. Anyways, I gotta go. More videos to create. Galactic here. Peace out. Stay safe.
Impressive. You will make excellent undead bodyguards.